Imagine this, it's a quiet night. Not the kind filled with noise or distraction, but the kind where everything slows down just enough for your thoughts to catch up with you. You're sitting alone, phone in your hand, you open your banking app. For a moment, nothing feels wrong, the number is there. Stable, solid, better than it used to be, and yet you don't close the app, you stare at it, you refresh. Once, twice, maybe even a third time as if something might change, but it doesn't. And that's when the question quietly appears in your mind. Why doesn't this feel like enough? Go back a few years. Life looked very different. You were earning less, much less. Every decision mattered. You checked prices before buying anything. You thought twice before going out. You planned your expenses carefully. And even though things were tight, there was a kind of clarity in your life. You knew your limits. You knew what you could and couldn't afford. And more importantly, you had a belief, a simple one. If I can just earn a little more, everything will feel easier. Well, not perfect, just easier. So you worked harder than most people around you. You stayed late when others left. You said yes to opportunities others ignored. You took risks when it felt uncomfortable. There were moments when it felt slow, moments when it felt like nothing was changing, but you kept going, and slowly things started to shift. Your income increased, then increased again. New opportunities opened up. Your lifestyle improved, and one day you reached a number that once felt far away. A number that used to exist only in your imagination. At first, the change felt real. You noticed it, you felt it, you had more room to breathe, and naturally you made your first upgrade. Nothing extreme, just something small, maybe a better apartment, maybe a more comfortable space. You told yourself, I've worked for this, I deserve this. And you were right, but here's the part no one talks about. The change didn't stop there, it never does. It continued quietly, almost invisibly. Your habits started shifting. You ordered food more often. You chose convenience over effort. You upgraded small things without thinking too much about it. A better subscription here. A slightly more expensive option there. Nothing felt excessive. Nothing felt dangerous, just small improvements. And that's exactly why it worked. Because when change is small, it doesn't feel like change, it feels normal. Day by day, decision by decision, you built a new version of your life, and once that version became familiar, you stopped noticing it. Now fast forward to today, you're earning more than you ever have before. Your life looks better from the outside, more comfortable, more stable, more successful. But inside, something feels the same, that pressure you thought would disappear. Still there, that feeling of almost enough. Still there, and here's the truth. You didn't do anything wrong, you just stepped into a loop. A pattern that most people never notice. You improved your life and your mind adjusted. You reached a new level and it became your baseline. You got what you once wanted and your definition of enough moved forward. Your brain isn't built to stay satisfied. It's built to adapt. Everything new eventually becomes normal. Everything exciting slowly fades into routine. That thing you once dreamed about, given enough time, it becomes just another part of your day. And that's where the real problem begins. Because if your expectations rise every time your life improves, then satisfaction stays just out of reach. No matter how far you go, it always feels like you need just a little more. From the outside, everything looks like progress. Better income, better lifestyle, better choices. But internally, you're running in place, putting in more effort without feeling closer to peace. And as your life upgrades, so does the weight that comes with it. More expenses, more commitments, more responsibilities. You don't just earn more, you need more to maintain what you've built, and that creates a new kind of pressure, a quieter one but heavier. Then one day you pause, not because something went wrong, but because something doesn't feel right. You look at your life, and you realize something uncomfortable. I upgraded everything except how I feel. You now imagine two people. They start from the same point, same income, same opportunities. The first person upgrades their lifestyle with every raise. The second person upgrades slowly and holds back part of their growth. At first, they look the same, no big difference. But over time, their paths begin to separate. The first person becomes more dependent on their income. The second person becomes less dependent. The first person needs their lifestyle to stay intact. The second person builds flexibility, options, freedom, and one day something changes. The second person realizes they're no longer chasing the next upgrade because they don't need it. Their life doesn't depend on it. This is where everything flips because the goal was never just to earn more. It was to create space, to create control, to build a life where your peace doesn't depend on constant growth. Instead of asking, how can I afford this? You start asking, do I actually need this? Instead of upgrading automatically, you choose intentionally, because the pattern only works when you're not aware of it. The moment you see it, you step outside it. You stop reacting and start deciding. The success isn't just about more, it's about enough. It's about reaching a point where your life feels stable, not just bigger. And the truth is, real freedom doesn't always look impressive. It's not loud, it's not flashy. Sometimes it's just peace. It's the ability to say no. It's the absence of pressure. Because at the end of the day, the real problem isn't how much you earn. It's how quickly your enough disappears. And once you understand that, you stop chasing a moving target. You start building something real, something stable, something that doesn't shift every time your life improves. Because the goal was never to keep running faster. It was to realize the race was never meant to be won.